it was really important to us, not to prove to anyone else outside, but just to ourselves, that we needed to bounce back and we needed to learn from our mistakes Friday and keep building as a team, keep growing and keep fighting.
Yeah, I agree. Definitely super proud of today and how everyone played. Definitely think we're going to keep growing moving into next week's games.
Cool, thanks. And you guys were able to pull away later in the game. Can you speak to maybe like a slow start, but then how you turned it around coming out of the halftime?
Yeah, we just let them get hot from the 3-point line. So we knew coming out of the half that defense was what was going to anchor us back into the game. And that was how we were going to get back and have our run, just by stopping them on defense and making them do something else rather than shooting that three.
Yeah, that's all we talked about in the locker at halftime was defense. So we just made it a point to get stops and not allow them to get off a lot of threes.
Thanks.
Go ahead, Mike.
The team had a difficult time on Friday, but it seemed like you definitely wanted this game, especially in the second half. It looked like you came out with a little bit of fire. Did Coach say anything to you guys, to you ladies, to pump you up a little bit, to get you the that charge?
Yeah, she just came in hot in the locker room. She was demanding things that she knows that we can do. So there weren't any expectations that were too high. She was demanding us to stick to our game plan, keeping it simple and just playing the game that we know how to play, and demanding that of us. And we love when she gets fired up. It fires us up and we were ready to go.
Yeah, and me and Chantel were not leaving Washington without a doubt.
No.
Washington, they hit 11 3-pointers. What do you think went on with that? But also, the team had several answers to those 3-pointers, especially, that's what led to the big win. What could you say about the 3-point shooting on defense and offense?
Yeah, we just weren't locked in completely in the first half. I think 8 of those threes were in the first half. So I'm proud that we got better in the second half and only gave up 3 threes. But also I think on offense, we talk a lot about getting layups and threes, and our team is really good at shooting and making those shots. So I think we just really try to focus on attacking and getting kicks out to people for threes.
Thank you.
Hey ladies, so this is your, you have 9 players playing today, which is maybe the most you've had playing in a minute. How exciting was that to have some of your teammates back? And I know like Jalen, and some of them weren't quite 100% yet, but is it exciting to have people back in the rotation?
Oh, of course. We're just so excited to have people back. It's been a really hard journey for a lot of these players and just such unfortunate circumstances. And I know no one wants to be injured. No one wants to be sidelined. So we're just so happy for them that they get to step out on the court and have fun playing basketball.
Yeah, and it's super fun playing with them and just having people back. So I'm excited for them to be back.
You both have remained tremendous leaders and been very strong throughout all these trials and tribulations. How do you maintain your mental strength and your poise throughout these tough times?
I think we just lean on each other,
yeah.
Honestly. It does get really hard sometimes, but I know Chantel always has my back, so just leaning on each other.
Same goes. I know Riz always has my back, and it doesn't do us any good sulking and spending too much time on the losses. Like, we've got more games to play. We've got more things we want to do, and we're competitors. So a loss happens. We just want to get back out, and we're fired up to play again. So we're trying to stay present through it all and just keep that attack competitive mindset and not get too down on the losses.
I just had a quick question about the Oregon game coming up on Wednesday. So you guys go home and then you go back on the road to Oregon for like the rescheduled game. What's going to be the key for your guys' mindset going into that match up?
We actually take game preparation one game at a time. So our focus was fully on Washington State and then fully on Washington, just because you can't sleep on any team in the Pac-12. So we prepare one game at a time. So we haven't even really spoken about Oregon, but we know it's going to be a tough matchup, especially playing in their arena, home court advantage. We know it's tough conditions going up there to Oregon, and So we just need to carry over a lot of things we've learned from this weekend and go up there to compete and hopefully get the win.
Awesome. Thanks.
Okay, any other questions? Okay, thanks. See
You guys.
Cori.
Hello,
Okay, we'll go ahead and start with an opening statement.
you bet. I think that it's one of those things where the work that was done in between our ears and in our heart leading up to this game was more important than anything tactically. And so I'm really proud of the resiliency. I'm proud of the fight. I'm proud that our leadership, really proud of our staff. That there's no doubt that game on Friday was just really, it was stung a lot. And so take the work that it took to rebound, to get our minds in a right place. I just really credit the work of our staff and appreciate how relentless they are to teach, mentor, and equip no matter what the circumstances are. So this was a really important one for us. We need to respond. Credit to Washington. They shoot the three. I think they're last in the conference in 3-point shooting, and they came out firing, and we just need to adjust. And I think we were really committed to taking away the back cuts. So they score on 10 back cuts a game. And that was our main focus, and credit to them that they adjusted and shot and made threes. And so therefore we needed to adjust, and, we're perfectly capable of doing that. And so really committed to just making defense our anchor and going back to getting stops. And really, obviously we shot the ball pretty well. And, there's a lot of made shots that way, but it wasn't the made shots. It was anchoring everything with our defense in the second half that made the difference.
Hey, Coach. Chantel said you came in hot at halftime, and it looks like it resulted in them coming out hot in the second half. Whether it was like, Amari, rushing the paint, or being able to kick out, or actually hitting threes on her own, it just seemed like that there was better execution in spreading the ball. What can you say about how you guys attacked the rim?
Well, I thought we had 16 assists and only 6 turnovers. So that numerical illustration tells you that we shared it better. We made plays for each other, created shots by, sharing the ball. And we need to make that a habit, and Imari, I thought the thing I was most pleased about with Imari is that her defense in the first half, I thought she had to switch on to guards and help on all those late clock dribble penetrations. I thought she did a really good job. But in the second half, she added her high post defense and really made those catches to Mulkey much more difficult in the high post. And so really proud of Imari's defensive improvement this weekend, all the way around, actually. So that was a really good step in the right direction. But, obviously, at this point in the year, you're not going to win a one-on-one battle. Teams are too good. You have to share the ball. You got to do things as a team. You got to make plays for other teammates. And so I was really pleased with how we were able to share the ball and create easier ones. And we didn't shoot. We're a really good free throw shooting team. We did not shoot very well from the free throw line. We missed a lot of layups, but we did shoot the ball well from the 3-point line. And I think that helps. I think another person that I really want to point out is Dominique. She is continuing to really be more and more aggressive on the offensive end. I thought her pressure on the ball was much better in the second half, and she really has grown a lot. And I thought today she was a really good spark for us.
Two quick questions to end. Mulkey did not seem to be much of a factor in the second half. Was that by design? And how is Izzy doing?
I think, first of all, Kim Mulkey, Nancy Mulkey, sorry, not the other one, but Nancy Mulkey is a classy young woman. I've known her since she was in high school. Coach Tasha coached her when she was at Rice. Mulkey's a classy kid, and she came over at the end and wanted to just make sure Izzy was okay. And that was not a malicious, intentional play. So just to put that out there, but Izzy's okay. I mean, she got rocked pretty good, and Izzy is a really tough young woman, and she, I saw it in her eyes. She was pointing to her tooth, and it rocked her pretty good. And so I haven't gotten the full report from our doctors yet. I know she got some stitches at halftime and things, but I think she's okay. She was able to come back and sit on the bench, so that's a good sign. And so she was making some smart aleck comment to me in the locker room, so she must have been feeling a little bit better.
Hey, Cori. So I asked your players what it meant to them to have 9 people on your bench today, and I guess I'll ask you a similar question. I mean, obviously those returnees are probably not 100% yet, but how great is it to have people back yet? And then how soon do you think you guys can make that adjustment?
Well, I think that's going to be the tricky piece, right? Is the chemistry piece, by figuring out rotations. And I mean, literally, Angela has had 2 full practices. Jalen Penn has not even had 1. So I just think that's going to be the biggest challenge. It's not the physical part; it's the synergy, it's the chemistry. Trying to figure out at this point in the year how to integrate these new players. We desperately need them, and it was really nice at about I think third quarter, maybe right at the end of the third, I just challenged them. I said, am I subbing liberally? And they said, yes. And I said, so don't conserve, get up and pressure the ball, be aggressive, use that newfound strength. You don't need to have perfect chemistry on the defensive end. That's a way that we can make a difference with a bigger roster right away. I think offensively, that's where it's going to take a little bit of time and a little bit of massaging to figure out how to make sure we're putting everybody in a good position and we get rhythm on the offensive end. But defensively, they can make a difference right away. And with their aggression level, with their pressure on the ball, being able to keep out a foul rotation. So I think that's a really good thing. So it was, I think if anything else, it was just an emotional lift to know that there was an option. And so I really think that mentally and emotionally, as they look at each other, I think that was a huge lift.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
Really appreciate you all as normal doing this. I don't think I've ever appreciated everybody anymore. And I'll get to your question on this, but like, I was coming in here and I heard you ask about how you've kept that going emotionally, and people paying attention to their journey, it means a lot. And there's no question this has been very wearing emotionally and mentally on these young women. And so just really appreciate you all paying attention, telling their story, coming alongside them. I don't think I've ever appreciated it more.
Lauren, go ahead.
Okay, yeah. So we have a writer doing the preview for the Oregon. And there won't be any media availability in between now and then. So just want to ask a quick question about Oregon. So you guys are like going home and then you're going back on the road to Oregon, and it's like a midweek game. How are you guys preparing for that? What's going to be the key to your guys' mindset?
I think that this is, this is a great opportunity for us. And I think just being able to, have NCAA tournament games, like we know that Oregon's going to be in the NCAA tournament, and we need opportunities to play and compete and beat NCAA tournament teams. And, we know that it has nothing to do with Pac-12 standings, but that's not why we rescheduled it. We rescheduled it because it's good for the NCAA tournament. It's good for putting us in a position. And that's why our kids came, and that's what we're fighting for. And so, I think it's a really great opportunity to go up there. Obviously there's tons of challenges this time of year, but this is exactly the kind of opportunity we need.
Awesome.